Okay. All right. How we doing, brothers and sisters? This is going to be a big video for me. Huge topic in my life. So incredibly valid. I hope it resonates with you, or if you know someone that is currently going through this, please share this over to them. I think it will only benefit you, and it's going to be a long video. So strap in, grab something to eat, grab something to drink. We're going to be talking. And the topic of today's video is how to use heartbreak as a spiritual catalyst for growth. One more time. How to use heartbreak as a spiritual catalyst for growth. So the first thing I want to talk about is understanding what heartbreak is, because earlier points in my life, and the only perspective I'm going to speak throughout this whole video is through my unique perspective on life, that each and every one of us has a very unique and very important perspective on their own life. So I'm only going to be speaking from that perspective. If this resonates with you, which I am sure it will, I will be so happy to hear your thoughts. But going back to understanding heartbreak, and to me, heartbreak is when you know that for whatever reason, between you and a person, or you and an opportunity, you and a thing, for whatever reason, things did not align in the way that you thought they could have, and therefore that loss and lack of correct perception of love is what makes that incredibly painful and difficult emotion right here in your solar plexus. And that's what I think heartbreak is, when you know something could have been so special, so great, so beautiful, and after you got through all the pain of being angry or feeling super negative about it, you really just come back to it and say, damn, this really could have been something so incredible, and it hurts me. And that is actually, funny enough, I think that is actually really important to start with, because you have to start there. You can't hate yourself, or you can't hate someone into forgiving you or moving past you or becoming a better version of yourself. It's just not going to work like that. The energetic laws of this universe do not work that way. You have to bring conscious awareness to why you feel these emotions and what caused them, and how you can then repurpose that energy, aka heal it, and then reintegrate it into your life and become a bigger, a better, and more awake individual. So that is a lot to stomach, and like I said, this video is going to be longer than all of my other videos. I'm going to really take time to break down each concept, but to me, that is my fundamental new consensus on what heartbreak was, because I'll also be sharing some personal insight in my life. When I was younger, I had this very egoic, kind of primal look to love, where it was like very, what can you do for me? What can I do for you? The moment that you can't longer serve me, then it's, what are we doing? Or the moment that I let my lust win, or I let my pride in, me being a Leo, that has been a very big spiritual catalyst for me to overcome and to use, both negatively and positively. So that has been super true to my life. However, man, it's just crazy how the universe works. It really tailor makes every single experience unique to you. And that's what just blows my mind every single day, when you're going through these problems, and you and another person could be going through the exact same problem, and you guys will have two completely different perspectives and opinions and set of beliefs about it. It's just incredible how beautiful and different everything can be. It's just wild. It's so wild. And that was just, when I was younger, it was just so hard to see. One second. And we're back. When I was younger, it was just so hard to see that I was actually yearning to be loved, and I wasn't letting myself be loved, that I had to push people away and just ghost them, or act very negatively, or act super like macho and like very like just incredibly toxic in a masculine way, like very abrupt, very harsh, very don't really care about your feelings. You can just go about your day, and I do not care. That was just my motto. It was like, do not care, do not know, don't want to know, get out of my life, leave, like forever, just be gone. And that does not allow you to heal at all. That just, honestly, you hold on to that, and that You mean, I can use the analogy of a snowball. Like, you start off one day when like you have a decently awesome relationship, whether that be even with a non-romantic partner or a romantic partner, and then something happens that is actually your karmic obligation to engage in this relationship, and you don't learn from it. Now you've slowly built onto that snowball, and then it just keeps growing. And if you don't heal that cycle, eventually the day will come where it will crash down upon you, and you will see it all in crystal clear and usually very painful realization of reality. And that is not a great place to be. That is a very like, it's in your face, like things are screaming at you. You don't know what to do. You don't want to be alone. You want to attach yourself to people. You want to cry. You want to scream. You want to yell. You want to be angry. Like, these are all things that are incredibly real, and nobody really seems to take that perspective through it. People think that you just need to, in this day and age, you need to go hook up with a lot of people. You need to go spend your time and energy and your money attracting things that don't really serve you at the end of the day. And that's why heartbreak can be very difficult at times, because in a sense, it could have been, right? It could have been a beautiful relationship. You could have loved each other unconditionally, truthfully. And a lot of the time, you take some pressure off yourself too. You're already good enough. You're already perfect enough. You already deserve this enough. You're already a divine reflection of creation. So you already deserve to be loved and be in fulfilling relationships. However, we sometimes forget that. And we put these very heavy leashes and weights upon us that anchor us and tie us down to very limiting thought perceptions and thought patterns and rhythms and people and circumstances. So that's where the awareness ties in. That's where you really need to, this concept of transmutation of energy. Because right now, I'll tell you a super personal story. I was with a girl for 3 years, and it took me all the way to the end of the relationship. I don't know why. I don't know. Apparently I chose this, but it took me all the way to the end of the relationship to realize how much I truthfully love this girl from like the bottom of my heart. And it has been so difficult to see this person, this beautiful woman, make steps and strides away from me. It's felt like a part of me has been dying. And maybe that's the case. I still lack a little bit of clarity on that. But what I do know is that the love that I have for her was the only thing that ever existed, and it was real. And I am so happy and fortunate to have felt that, because I'm now operating not from a perspective of lack, where like, oh, woe is me, I'm never going to get this again. Like, she was my one and only. She was my soulmate. She was everything to me. And mind you, the whole relationship, like, I felt like I did my best, but I really was not operating from that heart forward mindset of abundance and love and clarity. I was very either stuck in my ego or stuck in my lower self, and it was not always the most fun thing to do and be around. But you get that clarity once you remove yourself from these situations. And if you can really listen, like, that's the big difference this time. I haven't told myself to like, go distract yourself, go have fun, go entertain yourself with other women, just sit down, be alone, really feel it. And that's what I want to encourage every single one of you. And I know this is very hard. This is not easy. This is the work. This is why we're here, to feel those emotions and heal them, reintegrate them, and then give your life to the people. At least that's why I'm here. Maybe you're not here for that reason, but I am. My life is not important if I cannot give it to the people. My man, Bob Marley. Shout out to him. I love him. But yeah, the transmutation is incredibly important. Like, you really need to realize that you have the divine and innate power and right within you to take whatever circumstances going through your life. And I'm not going to sit here and try to diminish or lower the amount of trauma anyone has ever been into, because in all honesty, everyone is suffering in one way, shape, or form. This is not the final ground. If anything, this is just the proving ground to higher levels of awareness, consciousness, and fulfillment. The third dimension is just the playground. We're just here to learn, to scuff up our knees, maybe break a couple bones, do it a couple 100,000 times, and then we're moving on. We're moving on. And taking it from that absolute perspective does help, but it does not mean that you can just ignore everything and just be like, well, nothing matters. This love doesn't matter. This relationship didn't matter. No. I was destined to be with this woman for that amount of time and go through all the realizations I'm going to make this video, to talk to you, to talk to the individual who may be lacking clarity on it. And I myself am a motion picture. I'm always getting worked on every single day by the universe, and that's okay. Everyone's a work in progress, but you are perfect enough, and you do deserve to be fulfilled and to be happy. So transmutation of that energy is so critical. If you learn one thing and one thing from this video alone, is that you can do it. You can get through what you're going through. And the craziest part is that for whatever reason, you actually chose to go through what you're going through right now. Let that one sink in. Let that one internalize into the ego, and tell the ego to just, hey man, it's not about you right now. It's about my higher purpose. It's about my higher purpose and being of service to others. Let that one sink in. And that brings me to the energetic release and the repurpose of that energy, because like we've all been told at some point in our life, or maybe if you haven't heard of it, this is the first time. If so, this is a beautiful moment. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. It can only be moved from one place to another. So that energy that you put into loving that person or not loving that person, the scales will be balanced, and you will have to deal with either side of that. I think it's always better to give more love than you got, because at the end of the day, that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants more love. Everybody needs more love. Everybody wants to feel fulfilled. Everybody wants to feel like they're doing something righteous and holy and loving and fulfilled. I do not care if you are the hardest son of a gun on the block. You want to be loved. You need to repurpose it and give it the space it needs to be felt. You know, something that I did when I realized after this past breakup, I said, oh my God, I flagged so hard. I dropped the ball so hard. I'm so sorry that I did not tell you I loved you enough. That is my only regret, is that I did not tell you that I loved you enough, and that I did not show you that I loved you enough. And that is okay. That is totally okay. It doesn't diminish me. It doesn't diminish my value. It doesn't make me a lesser human being than someone who is doing that. And vice versa, it doesn't make me better than someone who has no concept of this at all and is living purely from their first 3 chakra centers. Like, it does not make me a better person than that. The only thing that I have that they do not have is awareness, because what did I do? I repurposed and healed that energy, and I'm still healing that energy. And there's no big rule on how long it has to take. You can do this all in one day. You can do this all in 1 hour. You could take a year. You could take 10 years to do this. No one has the truth answer on that. The only thing that I know for certain that is true is that you need to heal that to make space for something even better in your life, for the true soulmate of your life, or the true opportunity that you deserve, or the true relationships that you want to have, and to have true fulfillment. You need to repurpose that. We get so caught up and so attached on certain things because we bond chemically and we bond neurochemically to people, to situations, to things, to outcomes, because we are creatures of habits, incredibly huge creatures of habit. And a lot of times those attachments do cause the heartbreak, because, for example, I just broke up with this girl. What do you mean you want to see other people? What do you mean you want to go on this other date with this guy? What do you mean you're my love? No, I love you. What's going on? And that just hurts you. It just crushes your soul. But then you remember, it's not about me. Everyone deserves to be happy. Everyone deserves to move freely upon their own path, and to drink whatever water they want to, and to be with whatever they want to. If that person divinely aligns with me and wants to be with me and share my sacred space and energy, more power to you. That's what I want to put out there. That's what I want to attract to this vessel. So that is a huge part of this video, and why it's so important to me, and why I felt like I needed to speak on it, because this is real, and I can make the argument that this is one of the few things in this life that truthfully matters, is having loving, lasting, and fulfilling relationships and outcomes in life. You really do need that. Then once you get past that transmutation and reintegration, now you can make space for the fun things. New love, new opportunities, new friendships, new opportunity vehicles. just new. You don't have to keep dwindling on the old and keep spiraling in the what if and tormenting yourself and just like just keep spiraling down that. Like, that is the hardest thing to do. And thankfully, I'm slowly starting to always remind myself of that, because you can mentally torment yourself more than anyone can. And that is a double-edged sword. You use that however you want to use that. You can mentally torment yourself more than anyone can torment you. That's why people don't like being alone. That's why people don't like being alone. That's why people don't like to sit down and face those uncomfortable thoughts, because that negatively charged emotion and energy within you is very fucking strong. And if you cannot repurpose it, it will swallow you alive and it will keep you captive, and you will never feel the joys of love and fulfillment and enlightenment and gratitude for being just alive. Just going outside and seeing the birds fly, and going outside and seeing the trees, going outside and just hearing sounds that are natural and very pleasing and healing to you. You'll keep dwindling in this horrible realm of 440 hertz music, going out to clubs, drinking too much alcohol, eating too much food, having too much sex, smoking too much weed, doing drugs, like just very low level survival instinct life that I'm internally grateful for having that, because without that I wouldn't be grounded, I wouldn't be rooted, I wouldn't be able to maneuver through this matrix. However, you need to move past that so you can have new space and new life. Because remember, and I say this out loud for myself and for anyone that is going through this, the universe is incredibly abundant, and it will fulfill what you want, and it will fulfill what you need. You just need to vibrate in accordance with it, because we do not act outside of the universe. That causes anxiety, that causes depression, that causes fear, that causes anger, lower vibration. When you unify yourself with it and you realize that we are really all in this together, and that we are all going through these things for a reason, now you're on the path. Now you're doing the work. So some of my ending thoughts on this is the biggest reason why I made this video, and I don't think I was going to make it because it is very personal to me and there are some touchy parts of it, and it's a tough topic to speak about. Heartbreak is no joke. It's one of the biggest teachers in life. Like, being broke, being heartbroken, and struggling is like the three biggest teachers. And a lot of people are going through all three of those things in all three different ways, incredibly unique combinations. So this is a big topic. This is what needs to be talked about. A lot of people, men and women, don't know how to integrate that into your life. And I'm not saying I know how to do that to the 1000%, and like I can really be that teacher, but I do know how to get the ball rolling, and I'm living proof that you can move on through that, man. Like, I'm down like 20 pounds. I'm making more money than I've ever made now. I'm healthier. I'm happier. The only thing that is so painful that you do need to work on day to day and just repurpose that thought is that you believe when you're sad and you are lacking love, that exactly that, like you are lacking love, and that maybe you are not worthy of it. You're a little bit shameful of it. Maybe you beat yourself up in the head about, I could have done this. I should have loved her more. I should have got her nicer things. I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have treated him better. I should have, been his peace. I should have stopped fighting him. Like, you can live in that matrix, but remember what I said like 15 minutes ago. You are already good enough. You are already perfect enough. You are already in divine alignment, and you already deserve everything and anything that you could wildly conceptualize in your brain. Let that sink in. You deserve it. So with that being said, you're already good enough. So you need to act that way and stop acting out of lack. Be very mindful to the way that you speak to yourself. Don't use past and future tense words. Don't say I want or I had. It's talking to I am. I am being a great man. I am a great woman. I am the leader I need to be. I am the lover I need to be. I am the financial abundance that I deserve. I am. I am. I am. With that, brothers and sisters, I love you guys. Truthfully, I do. Thank you so much. If you listened to this, if you made it this far, thank you for being part of my healing and being an audience to me. Literally standing in my room making a video. More content to come. This has been a much longer form video. If you guys like this, I'll keep doing more. I'm definitely going to switch up the scenery, get out the room, go do some other videos outside in public, maybe, who knows. So I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.